everyone, here we are, week 3. Excited to be here. We got some really fun stuff that we're going to talk about today, and some really powerful stuff as far as our mind is concerned, and being able to use our mind to create images to help us achieve our goals. So I'm really excited about talking about what we have on the agenda for today. But first, want to kind of review last week. So, how did it go? I, for one, really didn't do that well. And it took me about 3/4 of the way of the week through to realize, now I normally don't eat sugar. So for me, saying, oh, I'm not going to eat sugar for a week is not a change from my normal habits or behaviors. So I'm not sure if you saw what I posted in the Facebook group, but I realized that by telling myself I cannot have sugar for a week, really what my subconscious mind was hearing was sugar. And so therefore I never craved sugar. And all of a sudden I found that I was at a bookstore meeting a colleague, and I picked up a Rice Krispies treat. Now granted, it was organic and it was sugar. I did not do high fructose corn syrup. I am just so deeply opposed to that because it's so awful for us. But and then the next day we went out for a birthday celebration with my son, and so we got the traditional dessert, which of course had sugar in it as well. And I thought, wow, I've eaten more sugar now in this 1 week than I have probably in the last 3 months combined. And so then I started thinking about it, and I realized that our subconscious mind doesn't understand don't or not. And so that's why when we give ourselves, affirmations or commands, we have to use them always in the positive. So as I shared last week, remember to get that gallon of milk, and not don't forget to get that gallon of milk. Well, the same thing holds true by saying I cannot have sugar. Really what my subconscious mind is interpreting it is sugar, 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 sugar. And I really saw that firsthand. But so instead, it's what can we have? So it's almost like, when we're raising kids, right? Our kids want to know what we can have. Instead of them constantly feeling like we're saying no, 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 we use redirection. We do the same thing with Alzheimer's patients. If you tell Alzheimer's patients no, they don't get it. But if you direct them to what they can do, then you're just shifting the focus into something else that's positive, and that's really beneficial. So that really was a lesson for me over this past week. And I wanted to share it, and I'm just curious. So if you're watching this live versus being here in the room today, then just go ahead and post in Facebook whether you had similar type responses with the sugar, because that was kind of interesting. It was a reminder for me. So I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we did the exercise, and it is a good reminder. So future classes, I will redirect that a little bit differently, and we'll focus on what are the things that we can eat that don't involve sugar, so that we're not winding up in that situation with our minds. So how about the I ams, doing the 10 I ams? How did we do with those? Did you do your 10 I ams? So again, it's a very simple step. It only takes a few minutes of time. It's very, very powerful. And making sure that, remember, one of the keys about I am is in the present. It's not a future. It's not a past. It is I am. And it's important, for those of you that are like myself and have, struggled with weight management for your whole life, which I have. I can't look back to my past because I don't really have a great track history, a track record. So I have to look to where I am right now and always seeing myself successful in the future. So that every time I look at myself in the future, I see myself at my ideal weight and my ideal health being amazingly successful. That's how I see myself, and that's how I see myself in the present. So Dave Austin, in his book Be a Beast, and in the Beast Mode On program that I recently took, he says that we are a champion inside before we actually become a champion. And so that's exactly true is, we see who we're going to be. We become that person on the inside first. And as we become that person on the inside, then that person starts exhibiting themselves and we start thinking like that person and we start taking actions like that person. And that's how we actually get to be that person. So that's really where the power of the I ams are. And good just to remember that if you didn't do your I ams over the week, do them now. Start them today. They don't take, more than a minute or two of your time. And so push yourself beyond that discomfort and just simply say, okay, I am going to do this. And just say, I am doing this. Because if you say, I am going to, I am trying, you're always going to be going to or trying. You're never actually going to complete it. So I am doing this. I am achieving optimal health and excellent health habits. And I make great health choices and health decisions. So really just practice those. And then lastly was steps. How do we do with our steps? I did post in Facebook, so if you want to be, added to my Fitbit group, please, by all means, just drop me whatever your Fitbit ID is so I can go ahead and add you, and that will be fun. There's a great little group of us, and it's just fun. It's awareness and saying, oh, can I get in more steps? So some days I did get in some more steps, some days I didn't. But I was aware of it and I was always thinking, okay, where else can I go to get in some more steps? And so I did, overall over the course of the week, I increased the amount of steps that I took. And so that was a win. And that was our goal. And that's what we really want to do is just start becoming consciously aware of it. And as we become consciously aware of it, we will also continue to keep moving in the right direction. All right, so that's our review of this week, and we are going to move on to visualizations.